Hi guys, I'm Laura, and welcome to Mama Loves Mysteries and Tea. It is Sinister Saturday, but the case I have for you guys is more than just sinister. Something sinister happened, but it's more heartbreaking than anything. It is a case that has affected Western Pennsylvanians for 35 years. It is a case that we watch covered on the news every year at this time. And I think we all give a little thought and prayer and wish that we didn't see this case every year. This is the case of Cherrie Mahan. She was 8 years old from Butler County when she got off the bus and was never seen again. She was last seen wearing a gray coat, a denim skirt, blue leggings, and earmuffs with cabbage patches on them. The day was February 22nd, 1985. I had just turned a year old. Cherrie was dropped off at her bus stop. The bus driver saw her get off. The other kids on the bus, including the ones that got off on that bus stop, all saw Cherrie get off that bus that day. But she absolutely never made it home. And to this day, we have no idea what happened to her. There has literally been no evidence. There's been tips. We'll cover that in a second here. But that day haunts Western Pennsylvanians. It does. It literally affected how our parents let us get on the bus stop and get off the bus stop. And then heck, walk around in general. Always travel in groups. Never go by yourself. And never get in a car with a stranger. And the reason I say that is this. What we do know about the day Cherrie disappeared is this. Now, I'm going to read my notes. You guys know I love my notes here. The only real tip that they have is that a bluish-green conversion van with a painted picture on the side of a skier and a mountain seemed to be tailing the bus. If you go onto the Unfounded Podcast channel here on YouTube, I just stumbled across him. He is great. I am just now getting into listening to all his things that he's posted. But what he did post was the actual spot of the bus stop. And he walks you to Cherrie's driveway and even speaks with one of the kids that got off the bus with Cherrie that day. So that's neat. Please check that out. It gives you a little bit of perspective on the walk Cherrie had to do from the bus stop to her driveway. Mind you, this was the 80s. Please do not judge. It was a fantastic time to grow up. We had a little bit more freedom. We had a lot more freedom. But most of the time, Janice, her mother, would drive down to the bus stop and pick Cherrie up. It was an unusually warm day. She could hear the bus. So she figured she'd let Cherrie walk. But again, everybody saw Cherrie get off the bus. Nobody knows what happened to her from there. The only clue and tip we had was that conversion van. And the odds of her possibly getting pulled into that conversion van and being taken away, yeah, that's pretty plausible. But that is all we have. That is literally our only tip that has some substance to it. Cherrie's mom, Janice, never got over that. Never got over the fact that she did not go down to the bus stop that day. That the one day she let her daughter walk a little less than 100 feet, not even, was the day she disappeared. I have listened to so many news reports with Cherrie's mom talking. And I break for this mother every time I see this. This has been 35 years of not even knowing where her daughter is, let alone what happened to her. Now, the time of her disappearance, search parties were sent out, volunteers by the buttload. They hounded that area. The police officers, they questioned Janice and Cherry's stepfather, who unfortunately has passed away within the past couple years, and they were cleared of all charges. Even Cherry's real father was questioned and found of no wrongdoing. But here's an interesting thing that I found out from my local news station, KDKA, Channel 2. Cherry was a child of rape. So the father they're asking, the real father, the birth father, is a rapist. I'm just saying, I'm not to judge, but he's a rapist. I don't know how I can not judge that. And her mom brought that up during the interview. She brought up that Cherry was a child of rape. She had gotten raped when Janice was 16. She gave birth to Cherry, and Cherry became her world. But the reason I'm sharing this information with you is because during that news interview, Cherry also brought up the fact that maybe, okay, so the father didn't do it. He has been cleared. The police have said numerous times that they have lie detector tests, everything, and he's clear. But Cherry brought up the fact that maybe somebody who knows him hurt Cherry. It's a possibility. I am not a professional, and I am not going to say that's absolutely what happened. But I will say, as a mother, that sometimes our motherly instincts, they aren't wrong. They just aren't. So who knows? I thought that was interesting for the fact that it is coming from Cherry's mom. It's something that she, I don't know, has known for a while now and is just now sharing, or what the case is. But a mother's instinct is hard to tell her no. It is. So, now that we know that, let's get to the tips that have come in over the years, okay? Turning my pages here. Cherry's mom has had her hope dragged through the mud multiple times over the years. We have had our hopes brought up multiple times over the years over tips that have come in. One was an extremely graphic letter that I am not going to post here because it's awful. I actually learned more about what was in the letter the other day, and it's horrible. It describes how Cherry was taken, how she was killed, and where she was buried. This was a big deal. This was possibly the letter that was going to find this little girl and give us all, especially Cherry's mom, some closure. Unfortunately, after breaking down all the details of the letter and even going to the area that said where she was buried, that letter was proven to be nothing. Nothing at all. Cherry's mom went with them to the area where they said she was buried in hopes of seeing her daughter. God, that's so awful. I feel so bad for her mother. There have been other dead ends. There have been ladies that have come forward saying and hoping they're Cherry. But they weren't. After fingertips, doing the fingertips and fingerprints. I keep saying tips, fingerprints. It was clear that it wasn't Cherry. You see, the one benefit we had with Cherry was they had just started a program in school, fingerprint program, where you put your finger on a card, your face, gives you a description, so that if you ever go missing, the police have all the information right on this little card. I had it done when I was in elementary school. So they did have a very recent fingerprint of Cherry. So they know what they're looking for. They just haven't found her. Cherry was also first put on the website for missing and exploited children. And she's been there ever since. There are age progression photos that have been done of Cherry over the years to see how she has changed and grown up. So if we see her, we can find her and tell her where to go home. Just tell her to go home. Go home to your mom. She misses you. But man, for all us Yenzers in the area, this has just been a heartbreaking case for me, grow up with. I always hope that this is the year they're going to find Cherrie. Whether she's alive or passed away, I think we all hope that this is the year that we can put this case to rest and Cherrie's mom can get some peace. Every year, we've come up with dead ends. My personal thoughts on the matter, these are my opinions, these are not things that happen, please don't take them seriously, but from growing up with this case over the years, and because of, the Unfound website and learning more, the Unfound channel. I can't talk today. That's what I get for being on a 2-year hiatus, or 2-month hiatus. I'm going to have to edit the whole end of this video. Anyways, my personal opinion on this. What do I think happened? Again, after watching the Unfound video from Unfound and seeing the driveway, I think the possibility of her getting hit by a car and thrown off the road is very plausible. Did search teams go out there? Yes. Is it possible that she could have gotten into a spot they just couldn't see? Yeah, it's possible. It's happened. But the road she's on, and he even mentions it in his video, is a blind curve. That's a possibility. And I think people don't realize that getting hit by a car can happen a lot easier than you think. It happens a lot more than you think. I've had 2 people in my family hit by cars. It happens. So that possibility for me is really high. 2, yeah, the van took her. The blue conversion van with the skier on the side took her. Now, again, I'm going to go back to the channel Unfound. And he also brought up, since they were in the area, he's gone to, there's people that have gone to school there. He even mentioned that blue van, according to Talking to Town, was never seen in area again. Never. Now, we're going to go back and think to some of the most recent cases of serial killers that we've come across, and apparently they travel, and they can travel all over the place. Do I think that's a possibility, that somebody from, who knows, Utah, Texas, California, was in Pennsylvania, saw this little girl, scooped her up, and ran off with her? Yeah, that's a possibility. She could be in a whole nother state. Who knows? I think that's the good point of getting these YouTube videos out. It's because you never know. 3, somebody in the area. I am not blaming anybody, but let's backtrack onto, if you're a murder mystery watcher, then the first thing you look at is the people close to you, and it's usually the last person you'd think of. That's kind of my go-to for my number 3 for everything. Is it somebody close? Because that's that. The mother and stepfather were cleared. I don't think her mother had anything to do with this. I don't think the stepfather, when he was alive, had anything to do with this at all. The neighbors, the other kids that got off the bus stop, I definitely don't think they had anything to do with it either. When I say close, I mean maybe a couple roads down from you. That type of close. Maybe not somebody you know, closes and they're in the town. They're in the same town as you. But those are my personal opinions from reading this case and just growing up with it. Because I grew up with this case. I'm 36 years old. This case has been on the news for 35. I think I speak for everybody. We just want Cherrie to be found. We want her mother to have the ability to heal. That's it. Whether she's found dead or alive, I believe we're all to this point where we just want her found. We need to see this mom have some form of closure in her life. I cannot even begin to imagine the utter drowning pain that this woman has gone through. And if you listen to reports or interviews where she's done, she'll tell you she turned to drugs, tried to kill herself. But who can blame her? Losing a child is like losing an arm. You know it's gone. You know, it's losing a part of your soul, not your arm. You can lose your arm. It's losing your soul, a little bit of your will to live, and a whole lot of your heart gone. I am going to share the links from the Unfound. Great channel. Watch it. He covers a lot of missing people from Western Pennsylvania. Tons. I can't believe I've not been watching this. I kind of feel a little bad. I'm going to throw on the news link with her latest interview from KDKA. I found it brought me to tears. And most importantly, I'm going to put up the numbers for Missing Children Hotline. Nothing is more devastating than when a child goes missing. Nothing. Even when it's not your child. It's heartbreaking. And even if you call and it's not about Cherrie, you're just saved another kid. And I think Cherrie and Cherrie's mom would love that. So, that is it for Sinister Saturdays, guys. Closing the notebook here. This is the beginning of season 2, and we covered it with Cherrie's case because I cannot think of a bigger, more devastating and heartbreaking missing person case than Cherrie's, because she was only 8 years old. She was a baby. Breaks my heart. So today, February 22nd, 2020, throughout your day, just give a little thought to Cherrie and her mom. And let's all hope she's found one day. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Give a loved one a call. Check in on them. Check in on them. Check in on yourself. Just let everybody know you're okay. Because you never know. Watch your surroundings. All times, watch your surroundings. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. And I will see you guys, hopefully within the next week or so with a new video. Till then, take care, guys.